Hello everyone and welcome to today's lectures. Our lecture today is about the passive voice in English grammar. By the end of this session, you should be able to understand what the passive voice is and why it is used. Identify the structure of passive sentences. Recognize situations where the passive voice is more appropriate than the active, and finally transform active sentences into passive ones. Part 1. What is passive voice? In English, most sentences are written in the active voice, where the subject performs the action of the verb. Active voice examples. The teacher explains the lesson. Here, the subject, the teacher, is doing the action explains. The passive voice is different. The subject receives the action rather than performing it. Passive voice examples. The lesson is explained by the teacher. Here the lesson is not doing the action, it is receiving the action. So, in simple terms, active equals subject, after that a verb, after that an object. While passive starts with an object, then a verb which is in the passive form, then a subject which is optional. Structure of passive voice. The structure of the passive is subject plus be plus past participle plus be by plus agent. For example, the cake is eaten by the child. The child here is optional. The report was written, or the report was written by the manager. Notice, the verb to be changes according to the tense. The main verb is always in the past participle form. Examples in different tenses. Present simple, the car is washed every day. Past simple, the car was washed yesterday. Future simple, the car will be washed tomorrow. Present continuous, the car is being washed now. Present perfect, the car has been washed. Important point, not all tenses are commonly used in the passive, but these are the most frequent. Why and when do we use passive voice? The passive voice is useful in several situations. 1. When the doer, the agent, is unknown. For example, my wallet was stolen. We don't know who stole it. 2. When the doer is unimportant. For example, the road is cleaned every day. Who cleans it is not important. 3. When we want to emphasize the action or the object, not the subject. For example, the new law was approved yesterday. Focus is on the law itself, not who approved it. 4. Informal, academic, or scientific writing. For example, the experiment was conducted in a controlled environment. 4. Transforming active into passive. Let's take a step-by-step process. 1. Identify the subject, the verb, and the object. For example, the committee approved the proposal. 2. Move the object to the subject position. The proposal. 3. Add the correct form of be. The proposal was. 4. Use the past participle of the main verb. The proposal was approved. 5. Add by plus agent if needed. For example, the proposal was approved by the committee. Practice examples. Spoken in the lecture as a model. Active, they built the bridge in 1990. Passive, the bridge was built in 1990. Active, someone is repairing my phone. Passive, my phone is being repaired. Common mistakes with passive voice. 1. Forgetting to change the verb to be correctly. Wrong. The letter write yesterday. Correct. The letter was written yesterday. 2. Using the wrong verb form. Wrong. The house was built in 2000. Correct. The house was built in 2000. Overusing the passive. Passive voice is useful, but in everyday communication, active voice is usually clearer and more natural. Conclusion and recap. To summarize, passive voice changes the focus from the doer to the receiver of the action. The formula is subject plus be plus past participle, and there is an optional part which is by plus the agent. We use it when the doer is unknown, unimportant, or when we want to emphasize the action or object. So in academic writing and formal context, the passive voice is especially important because it allows us to present information objectively. Thank you for listening. In our next lecture, we will continue exploring sentence structures in English.